We have come to the end of the 5th week of the Introduction to Project Management course. Before moving on to next week, it would be useful to recap the key areas that we touched on this past week. This week has focused on the identification of your leadership skills and how you might use those to lead your team and engage with internal and external stakeholders. We've highlighted that developing effective communication skills provides the foundation of which all project management processes are built upon. Clear communication with your project team enables them to fulfill the objectives of the project, and continual engagement with stakeholders ensure that their expectations are managed appropriately. Through the review of a couple of the scenarios, we emphasized the importance of adapting your leadership style to meet the needs of the situation you are faced with at various stages during the project. Being able to adapt to these demands of diverse and challenging situations that may arise during project delivery provides you with an opportunity to be flexible in your approach in ensuring project outcomes are met. It is now time to turn our attention to the frequently asked questions for this week. Our first question for this week is there one particular leadership style I should adopt when managing a project? There are different leadership approaches and styles, so it very much depends on your own personality and style. What is, however, most important in leadership is to be able to create trust and a common purpose among the project team members. You may also find that you need to use different styles of leadership depending on the individuals themselves. One of the most important skills as a project manager is to be adaptable to managing and leading in change environments. That means that you will carefully consider the individual resources and context of a situation to shape your leadership style and approach to reach objectives or outcomes. This approach is known as situational leadership. The next question is, what is the purpose for preparing a stakeholder analysis matrix? A stakeholder analysis matrix identifies and then categorizes all project stakeholders according to their level of influence and level of interest in the project. It then serves to develop a stakeholder engagement plan to appropriately plan communication strategies and manage stakeholder expectations throughout the project. The objective is to ensure that unhappiness is identified and addressed before it becomes a bigger issue affecting overall project outcomes. This is a confidential document and predominantly used in large and complex projects. The final question for this week is, should I keep a record of communication throughout the project lifecycle? Record keeping is very important to meet internal and external reporting as well as legal and governance requirements. Communication, like any other aspect of project management, needs to be planned. Communication planning involves planning for all the communication with project stakeholders. A useful tool is using a reporting schedule. It can help you identify the frequency and types of information required by different stakeholders. To finish off this week, we might take a minute to prepare you for next week's lessons. Week 6 will focus on the closure of the project. This is the last phase of the project lifecycle, where we bring everything together and ensure that project's objectives are met. The key issues we will be addressing next week are: were the original objectives of the projects delivered? What do I need to measure? Do I need to do anything differently? How will I use feedback that has been given to me? How do I give appropriate feedback? And do I understand the project management journey? We'll talk all about that next week. Remember to use the forum to full advantage by involving yourself in the discussion. See you next week.